What's up, you guys? So, I'm back with another video and more tea to spill with you today. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to my backup channel because that's where I'm going to start spilling a lot of tea, not here on my main page. All right, so Tia Mowry recently did a sit down interview with Chris GQ Perry and opened up about her exhausting dating life. And apparently, people's comments got her in her feelings and got her arguing with people on Twitter. And so we're going to talk about that in this video. Okay, so Tia did an interview with Chris GQ Perry about different aspects of her life, like self-love, personal growth, and relationships. And of course, what caught people's attention is what Tia said about relationships in her current dating life. Tia revealed that she's entered the dating world again after getting divorced from Corey Hardrick and that she's been dating for about 3 months, but it is exhausting and she wants to throw in the towel. And she feels like instead of men focusing on one woman and courting one woman and showing her that they want to be with her, they instead treat women like they are easily replaceable. And she used the analogy that men think if Keisha, this is a quote, if Keisha is not doing what she needs to do, there's 10 other Keishas. And then she, to my surprise, actually seemed to praise her ex-husband, Corey Hardrick, for courting her when they were dating. She said, quote, "My last relationship when I was dating this person, it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was courting. That was involved. I feel like that's no longer present, meaning people just don't court each other anymore." And then she suggested men return to tradition. I feel like tradition has become a trigger word, and people have different definitions of tradition. But she told the host, "You mentioned tradition, and I think that's just where it needs to go back to, where a man is courting a woman and showing a woman how much he wants her and loves her or wants to be with her." And so when the blogs picked up her interview, people were leaving comments saying that she was not traditional because she divorced her husband. You guys, like I said, people have different definitions of tradition. For some people, tradition means staying with your husband and working it out no matter what. So some people felt that she is not traditional and they were surprised that she would suggest a return to tradition. And other people were suggesting that she go back to her husband. Like this person who said she definitely need to go back with her husband. You want to dance with a new devil and it isn't worth it. And I blocked out this person's name, but it was a woman. And I guess in her opinion, men are like devils. And the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. Another person said she had the nerve to mention going back to tradition, but she left her husband because she graduated. Tia, no intelligent man will pick you, seeing the lack of respect you have shown your kid's father. Now, I do have a question for you guys. It's been alleged, heavy on the alleged, that Corey Hardrick cheated on Tia Mowry, which is a lack of respect, in my opinion. So, but Tia has never come out and said that he cheated on her, which I think is respectful of his reputation, being that he's her children's father. But I want to know what you guys think. Has Tia been disrespectful to Corey Hardrick, or has she been protecting his reputation? I'm really curious how you guys see it because a lot of people say that she's been disrespectful. And this whole time I thought she was holding back out of respect. So you guys, let me know what you see. In any case, because of all the comments, Tia tweeted, "Just because the dating life is complicated doesn't mean I'm going to go back to something that no longer served me. That's like saying if I don't book an audition or a part right away, I'm going to give up on my dreams as an actor. Please just stop. I ain't that weak. Please." And I'm actually glad Tia tweeted that because it does remind us that she is a fighter. Like being an actor is kind of like being a fighter. Like you have to fight for roles. Like you have to keep trying and trying. And I feel like with this tweet, Tia is reminding us that she is a fighter. So I'm kind of glad she tweeted this. But then I saw on Twitter, she started going back and forth with people who disagreed with her. So Tia Mowry's Twitter is a mess right now. It's a mess. All right, let me get started. Let me go back to what she said. All right, so first, normally she tweets things like this, like taking the little pockets of joy on the daily, like motivational things. She normally is that type of person on Twitter. But then she started responding to people who disagreed with her post about not going back to Corey. Like this person responded and said, "That's a lot to say, especially at 6 a.m. I would never address this publicly. And I know we all handle things in our own way, but god dog, I would be too focused on my life and kids to comment on my ex-husband slash their father." And Tia responded and said, "Boo boo, I'm in Europe traveling the world, so it ain't 6 a.m. Also, you ain't me either. So I think it's best to stop projecting your life onto mine. Focus on you, not me." Next. Oh, I'm sorry. This is funny to me. And so another person responded and said, "This is an emotional response. Stay grounded, love." And I actually don't feel like this was hate. I do feel what this person is saying, like, stay grounded, don't let people move you. Like, don't even read the replies. Don't let people move you. I feel this person. But Tia, she didn't like what she said. And she said, "No, boo boo, this is my response to stop narratives being said about me. Like you. Don't speak on my behalf. Thank you. You are not me. So just stop, please." And then the person Tia was responding to earlier responded, and she said, "Oh, by the way, I'm not projecting. I have 2 children and I'm happily married, but I would never post anything like that online because of my children. I wish you nothing but the best, Tia," with the heart. And then Tia responded and said, "But you are. Again, you are not me, so stop and thank you," with a smile. And so someone responded to that person and said, "So, if you have 2 children and happily married, how do you have time to worry about what someone else is doing on a Saturday morning? The kids need breakfast." You guys, I'm recording this as I make breakfast for my family. And they do need breakfast. And so the girl responded and said, "The kids have a dad. That helps, thankfully." She said, "I have mommy time and it's awesome. My kids are 10 and 8 and not under my eye 24/7. God bless." But anyway, Tia responded to that and said, "Worry about your own. Thank you. Focus on you and your children." And then somebody else pointed out, "It's always a happily married woman in everybody else's business." And Tia responded, "Right." And somebody else said, "Someone is feeling hurt over their ex today, huh? Oh, grumpy self." And Tia responded, and this is a person, they don't even have a profile picture, and Tia responded to them. And she said, "Nah, happy as a camper. Thanks for trying to speak for me, though." And then Tia responded again to this person who was kind of like under her skin. And she said, "Also, no one is creating narratives around you. I don't think you are famous. I don't think you are famous last I checked. So you don't have to speak your truth. I do." Okay, I get what Tia is saying. Tia is saying she has to speak out, otherwise, people will create narratives around her and run with it, which I do agree with. I do agree people will create narratives around her and run with it. And then the person responded, "If you feel the need to speak your truth, do what you do, but you can't expect everyone to applaud and agree with you or your posts, fans or not. At the end of the day, I'm still a fan and will always be. You're a freaking icon." My apologies for offending you. This girl is trying. And Tia said, "Not tweeting for your applause, boo." Tia is not trying to hear it. She said, "Not tweeting for your applause, boo, tweeting for me." And then thank you with the smile again. And then the girl responded again with some hearts. And Tia said, "You didn't offend me at all. Again, stop speaking on my behalf. It's feeling narcissistic much." So the girl responded, "Are we still going? I didn't know I spoke on your behalf. I wish you the best, Tia." Another heart. "Everyone deserves happiness. I wish you more happiness than you ever had, genuinely. I hope you enjoy your time in Europe. Live your best life." And then Tia tweeted a couple hours later, she tweeted, "I'm no longer allowing the lies and blogs, capital blogs, creating false information. I create the narrative, not you, for clickbait. If you don't hear it from me, it's all lies." So you guys, let me know what you think about Tia Mowry. What do you think about her comments about returning to tradition and courtship? And what do you think about her going off on Twitter? I'm so surprised she went off on Twitter. But if she feels like this is what she needs to do to basically lead her own narrative, then I understand it. But leave a comment. Let me know your opinion. As always, thanks for watching.